This camera is the Olympus OM10, the start of the double-digit Olympus cameras, and this one is the Olympus OM20. But which one is the best one? Or which one is the most popular? Which one works and which one doesn't? Maybe you guys can help me out in this video as to what's wrong with this camera. What on earth is going on there? I've had this OM20 now for some years, and I got it because a kind person once on the channel, probably 6 or 7 years ago, offered me on loan OM10. He thought, if you ever tried the Olympus cameras before, try the OM10. I've got a video out on that review, which I'll put at the end of this video. You can click on there, you can watch it afterwards. I did a full beginner's review, if you like, on the OM10 camera. After that video, I was intrigued by the Olympus system. I loved it. I just loved how compact they were. And they just look nice and they feel good in the hands as well. A little bit smaller than your regular sort of, you know, SLRs from the 70s and your Chinons and your Nikons and the Canons and so on. I just felt it was a really nice compact system. So when I learned a little bit more about the OM10, that was when I found out about the OM20. So when I decided to get into the Olympus system, which isn't a great, I haven't got a great deal of stuff for Olympus, I went for the OM20 instead. And the reason being, I'll tell you that in a moment, but it's for me personally, I think it's a better camera. It's more advanced. But I put a poll out recently and asked people what they would choose, the OM20 or the OM10. Some people came on in the comments on Instagram and YouTube and went neither. Or some people say the OM1. It's not about that. This is about the OM20 and the OM10. And in particular, why is the OM10 so popular over the OM20? One thing I've not really understood. Most people were saying the OM10 without a doubt, which I'm trying to get my head around because the OM20 is in my opinion, a better camera. But what really brought me around to making this video is my mate Gaz. He's a builder and he was around some lady's house. This lady's in her 80s and he was doing some work there and she showed him her cameras and she said, I want to sell these cameras. Do you know anything about them? And Gaz said, well, no, but I know a man who does. So Gaz came round with this big crate of stuff. And I started going through it and seeing, I said, okay, let's have a look what's in there. And all I was going to do is, was give Gaz an idea, a rough idea of whether it worked and also if it was going to be worth anything. And we came across this box here. So when I opened up the box, inside was an Olympus OM10. So straight away I was like, wow, okay, this is interesting. So I started going through the normal stuff, checking the shutter speeds and everything, and it all seemed really fine. And you can hear it, it's got the adapter as well. I'll talk about that in a moment, but really clean camera. Came with this box, a 50mm multi-coated lens, and it also came with a 135mm lens as well. And it also came with an auto winder. We've got this funky little box. It came with the original manuals as well. It came with a T20 flash, and it came with, these are quite rare, little tiny eye cup as well for the viewfinder, little cable release and a lens hood that you screw on, and just some other bits, just some filters like these funky sort of starburst filters and stuff. But moreover, it was the camera that I was interested in. The condition of it is absolutely beautiful. And straight away, as soon as I said to my mate Gaz that this is a really good camera, if it works, la da 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 da, I said, I'd suggest that you buy it off of her. It'll give the lady some money and also it'll give you a good camera to use. I bought Gary a camera, a Minolta, a few years back. And he's used it a little bit, but I said this would be another good camera for your arsenal. So like anything else, first thing I want to do is check the shutter speeds. Do the shutter speeds work? So I put this into, I put the adapter on, put it into adapter mode and started going through the shutter speeds. And you can hear them, 1/25th, sorry, 1/60th. Let's go down to the slower speeds. Let's go to half a second. Yeah, it works. I'm thinking, great. I said to Gaz, I said, this is a remarkable find. I said, I'd definitely have a look at it. And so I said, leave it with me and I'll put some film in it and see if there's any leaks, blah, 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 blah. But it's only when I took the lens off is when I realised the trouble. Now this has got brand new batteries in it. Watch what happens when I fire the shutter. The mirror only goes halfway. Now that's quite common if the batteries are faulty. Usually the mirror goes halfway and the camera stops dead. It won't let you function until you put new batteries in. But this is brand new batteries, and even if I shoot, let's go for 1 second, you'll see the mirror flip up halfway and then come down again. What on earth is going on there? I really need to know from anyone. You know, I don't want to start poking around inside or start taking it apart myself, but to me, that's not right. I mean, we can lift the mirror up a little bit and it's got full spring all the way, but for some reason, the mechanics or the electronics isn't bringing it up to the top, which is a real shame because that means this camera needs to be repaired, but the repairs for this possibly could be more than the camera's worth. So I decided to go online and see how much the OM10s were going for. So of course I've got a 50mm lens, I've got a 28mm lens, I've got a 135mm lens. So all I was interested in was the camera body. So I went online looking for an OM10 and I found, this is my lens, a really good condition OM10 for just under £60, and it came with the little tiny shutter speed manual adapter as well. And I was really surprised. I thought these were a lot more. And the camera also came with the original instructions as well, which I think this is pretty rare. With the cameras I've bought before, it don't really get all the full instructions in a little bag. So I've got the instructions, and it came with a couple of extra batteries as well. I'll put a link in the description and in the video now where I got this from. Have a look at this guy's eBay shop in the UK. He's got quite a lot of camera accessories and camera equipment. Real fair guy, 100% genuine, and he got this dispatched to me the next day, so I was really happy with the service that I got from this guy. But above all, this was around about £60 for the whole lot. So I've now got a OM20, my original one, and an OM10, and I put a question out the other day, which one would you choose? And most of you said the OM10, which I did get it, I got it, but I was like, I wonder why. What is the fascination with the OM10 when clearly I think the OM20 is the winner? It's the better camera, I personally think, and I'll tell you why. So I'll do a quick overview of both of these cameras, the OM10 and the OM20. So the OM10 came out in 1979. It was quite revolutionary at the time because of its metering system, and it was also an Olympus camera that most people, or most enthusiasts I would say at the time, could afford. They couldn't sort of have the expense of the OM1s, OM2s, which are absolutely fantastic cameras. So people were happy that Olympus now started to push out products that were going to be for everybody, not just for professionals. So they came out with the OM10 and they made it as simple as possible. They made it an aperture priority camera. But they went one step further with it, and they put this gizmo inside the camera that would take a little tiny adapter. So when you put the adapter on, it was the speed dial adapter, you could then turn it into a manual camera. So this little tiny adapter had all the shutter speeds on it, but it was an optional extra. I don't know why Olympus, maybe it was a money-making thing to make more money out of the camera, I don't know. But that's what they did. But people were a little bit, I think after a couple of years, maybe people was getting disgruntled with that, because when they came out with the OM20, they'd done away with that and put the shutter speeds into this camera. One of the reasons I think the OM20 is better than the OM10. Both cameras have got ISO speeds from 25 to 1600. Both cameras with the adapter have got shutter speeds from 1 second to 1/1000th of a second, and they've both got bulb mode as well. This camera has got a PC sync for the flash, if you're into that sort of flash photography. It's also got different focusing screens. The OM10 came out with a standard focusing screen, and the OM20 came out with a different focusing screen a little bit, but I reckon about 1 stop brighter, which was called a Lumi Micron focusing screen. So it is a little bit brighter. I've tested it between the two cameras. Both cameras have got a timer. Both cameras' timers don't work. They're old cameras, but it doesn't bother me. I'm not into making selfies. Actually, this one does work, but it's a little bit tetchy. But this timer doesn't work. And also the aesthetics of the cameras as well. Just a little bit of change in design. I think the OM20 design looks better, but then saying that, the OM10 is kind of got more of a classic look. The main function dial, manual off, auto check, is a lot more sturdy on this camera than the OM10 is. That seems a little bit flimsy, and it feels that way on the other OM10 that I've got there as well. But I think overall the OM20 has got better looks, I think. Olympus OM20's look has changed very, very slightly, subtly, like the advanced lever, and also the compensation dial, and where the ISO has changed as well, and the mode switches have changed. The OM20 has also got a little PC socket as well, and it's got this little grip, which the OM10 hasn't got. So maybe back then people gave Olympus feedback and said the camera's a little bit fiddly to hold, can we have a grip? So they stuck this on there. You might as well put some chewing gum on there or something, grip it better with, but they gave this little tiny grip which you can take off as a screw mount now. And if you've ever wondered why the OM10 has got this little sort of barcode on the front, that's to do with the metering system. When they launched the OM10, Olympus came out with this new metering system which was quite genius at the time. It was called the off-the-film metering. Whereas all the other companies were doing through the lens metering or TTL metering, these guys were taking the metering coming off of the actual film surface. So when the shutter opened, the camera took its metering from the surface of the film, which was highly accurate at the time. You can imagine if you was doing exposures, and if, say, for example, a cloud moves or someone turns a light on while your shutter is open, the camera senses the change and adjusts the shutter speed instantly to keep the exposure perfect. And if you take off the lens, and just lift the mirror up and pull the advance of the camera slightly, you'll see the curtain at the back. It's got this like barcode on it, and that is all to do with this metering system. On the top of the camera, you've got your ISO or film speed selector. Also combined in that is compensation dial. So it's not a separate switch, the compensation dial on this camera. It's kind of like just changing the ISO basically. And the depth of field preview is on the lens, as you'd expect. Just there. So it's fascinating to know why even today the OM10 is so popular over the OM20. And you know, if I put these two cameras here right now and said to you guys they're both the same price, right, you need a camera, you've got to go and take pictures, and there's no other cameras available, no OM1s, no OM2s. You had to choose one, which one would you choose? Most people are going to say the OM10, and I find that interesting. It does have a classic look about it, I must admit. It has got this awesome look, maybe because it's nostalgic and I remember it as a kid. But between the two, the OM20 does more, and it is, I think, the better camera. But it's interesting, maybe people don't know about the OM20, that's why they all rave about the OM10. But moreover, what surprised me was the price that I found these going for online. Just go online and have a look at the OM10 prices. I don't know, I swear that they've come down in price. To get this at that price, it's literally mint condition. So I'm really grateful, and thanks to Phil for sending me this camera so quickly. But in saying that, even if you look at the other Olympus cameras, the classics, the OM1s, 2s and 3s, they're not bad price either. I was looking at OM1s and 2s for kind of like 130, 140 pounds. And they're fantastic cameras for that sort of money in this day and age, you know, with inflation and all that. And I've kind of screwed myself over today. I've brought out with me 100 speed film. Because when I left, it was really sunny. As soon as I get into the woods with this 100 speed, the sun's gone in. Big massive clouds have come over, so I'm shooting around 60th of a second wide open. But I'm only testing the camera out just to see, make sure there's no leaks or anything like that. That's all I'm doing. So there's a couple of questions that I'd ask you guys. You know, if you were to choose one, which one would it be? The OM10 or the OM20, and why? I'd love to know. For me, the OM20 is a no-brainer. But I'd also like to know for the lady that's the elderly lady that this camera's house it's come from, this OM10 that got me into making this video. What's up with it? Why is the mirror sticking halfway? Does anybody know? I'd love to know, and you know, if it can be fixed. If you're a camera fixer or whatever, drop me an email the information's, I'll put the information in here in the description. Drop me an email and let me know if this can be fixed, and what sort of price, how much would it cost to be fixed, because we now know how much these are to buy used and in good condition. But one like this to be fixed, it's getting stuck. You can see it, which is a real shame. But other than that, the stuff that is in this box is just fantastic condition. So you know, whether we can get this fixed or not, or at least, you know, if Gaz wants to buy this, or if the lady wants to sell it, or whatever she wants to do, you know, all the other stuff in this box is really good condition. It's like a starter kit, an 80s starter kit for photography. So I'm really pleased that I've got a good OM10 now to go with my OM20. Which one will I use the most? I'll use both of them. You know, I'll take this or I'll take this. I've got the shutter speed dial now, so it's just, you know, for shits and giggles that I'll go out and take pictures with these cameras and with all my cameras, and just shoot, film and have fun. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Oh, lovely cameras, aren't they? Have a great Christmas and be safe, and I'll catch you next time.